afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Cunningham. We're going to take you live right now to Columbia. USC football coach Steve Spurrier announcing his retirement at this hour. And we begin with this news conference. The athletic director, Ray Tanner, is on the microphone right now, and let's pick that up.
And while his accolades and statistics are great, he's always been about more than winning games. He's always been about family first, that he's exhibited in his immediate family and in our Gamecock family. Often you would see him at Coach Staley's games, at Coach Holbrook's games, and other events. Matter of fact, when Coach Staley qualified for the Final Four, my first phone call was from Coach Spurrier. He said, "You know, I'm going to be needing a ticket down there in Tampa." So I said, "We got you covered." But we are honored and blessed that Coach Spurrier has been with us for this length of time and has made such an impact on this school and on our athletics department, and he's been an inspiration to us all. While he has been a great coach, he's been a great friend to all of us and a great colleague. Thank you, Coach Spurrier. Now I would like to introduce our president here at Carolina, Dr. Harris Pastides.
Thank you, Coach Tanner. It's hard to imagine, and say not so, but the end of the Steve Spurrier era of Carolina football is upon us. And I'll introduce the head ball coach in a few moments, but let me attempt, as Coach Tanner did for just a few moments, I promise, to try to quantify what Steve Spurrier has meant to USC football, athletics, but to the entire Gamecock Nation. As Ray said, Coach Spurrier arrived here on November the 23rd, 2004, the 32nd head football coach in the university's history, at 86 and 49 at USC, the winningest coach in USC history. Overall at 228, 89, and 2, a 71.8% winning percentage. Coach Spurrier and Coach Bear Bryant have the most coaching victories at two different Southeastern Conference schools. 3 11-win seasons. Who can ever forget that? 33 games, but in the 2011, 12, and 13 football seasons rank among the most victories of any college football team over that period. I put out for you my 3 11-win season championship rings, all of them resulting in a major bowl victory as well as the SEC Eastern Division championship ring that I'm so proud to bring to games with me. Over the past 10 years, Carolina ranks 24th among all major football programs in the most wins over that decade. In 2013, as you all know, we finished 4th in both major football polls, and we won the Palmetto Bowl 5 times in a row. 9 bowl appearances. At USC, Steve was named SEC Coach of the Year in 2005, his first season, and again in 2010, and he's won that honor 7 different times. Overall, 9 times Coach of the Year between the SEC and the ACC. He leads the active coaches today in the number of players picked by the NFL draft, 36 from the University of South Carolina, 104 draftees over his lifetime, and 27 active players now in the NFL. But you know, all of that doesn't tell the story. That doesn't really tell the complete story of what Coach Spurrier has meant to our university and to Gamecock Nation. He gave us our swagger, our pride, and our sandstorm enthusiasm, and that will be Coach Spurrier's legacy for his lifetime. Along with Coach Tanner, of course, we broke through that glass ceiling of success that looked to be, you could see it, but you couldn't really touch it or have it, and now Carolina fans worldwide want to have it, and that's something we're never going to lose either. So on behalf of our Board of Trustees who are here with us today and the entire Gamecock Nation, let me tell you that I asked Coach Spurrier to consider staying through the end of the season. We spoke 2 times yesterday. He had made up his mind. He'll tell you more about that in his own words. He thought that this was the right decision, not only for himself, but for the team and for the University of South Carolina. So without any further ado, our head ball coach, Steve Spurrier.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. All right, thanks. Okay, first of all, I'm resigning. I'm not retiring. I'll get that part straight. I doubt if I'll ever be a head coach again, but, you know, maybe coaching a high school team or something. So don't say I've retired completely from coaching. Who knows what will come in the future. But the last several years, as I travel around the country seeing guys and so forth, I always get asked, how much longer are you going to coach? And my answer is always the same. As long as we keep winning these bowl games, everybody's happy, we're ranked, life's pretty good, I guess I can go several more years. But if it starts going south, starts going bad, then I need to get out. You can't keep a head coach that's done it as long as I have when it's heading in the wrong direction. And really today, when I move out of the way and Shawn Elliott's going to take over as the interim head coach, it sort of starts our rebuilding or building back what we had just 2 years ago. And it was only 2 years ago that we were 4th in the nation and the last of those 11-2s. And somehow or another, we've slid, and it's my fault. I'm responsible. I'm the head coach. And it's time for me to sort of get out of the way and let somebody else have a go at it. And I really believe Shawn will bring some enthusiasm, energy, passion that our team will accept. And I think we'll all be proud of the way our guys play out there Saturday. I'm looking forward to watching it myself. The part about what right now, the president said, why can't you just go through the end of the year and announce this is your last year? I find that doesn't work a lot, because if the players know you're not going to be their coach after such and such a time, you just don't have the accountability, I think. And also, it gives us a chance to hire an interim head coach. Gives us a chance. Coach Tanner hired Shawn, and gives him a chance to make his mark for these next 6 games. And I think the team needs to hear a new message, a new voice from another coach. And Shawn's going to do that, and I think he's going to do an outstanding job. And hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully a lot of our coaches on the staff here will still be here next year. And of course, I'm pulling for Shawn. But it gives us a little time to start rebuilding. Yesterday, I was sort of a recruiting liability. It's hard to recruit when your coach has done it a long time and at a certain age. The recruits want to know that guy's going to be there 5, 10 years from now. And with a new coach here, I think it really is going to pick up recruiting. I really believe that. So we got a new message going, and I think our rebuilding process is in place. Just looking back here, I thank Dr. Sorensen and Mike McGee. Mike McGee basically hired me with Dr. Sorensen's approval back in '04. I think I was probably the best coach for this job 11 years ago, but I'm not today. I'm not today, and that's the cycle of coaching. Sometimes you run your course, you've had your run, and it's ready to pass it to the next guy. And that's where I am right here today. But I thank those guys. I thank Athletic Director Eric Hyman. He did a super job fundraising, getting all these facilities started. And Coach Tanner and President Pastides has finished it up. Facility-wise, we're as good as anybody in the country. And this place is ready to take off again real soon, I believe. But I do believe it's important for me to step aside and allow that building back process to take over. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm stepping aside, and I'm still going to be around town. One of the players asked Coach Tanner, tell Coach to come by practice today. And I said, I'll come by practice. I was down in the weight room working out. I'll just be the former head ball coach now, former head ball coach. But I'll be around town a lot. and I just think it's the best thing. This is the best thing for South Carolina football, for our university, to start another building process. And we got an excellent interim coach, excellent coaches, and it's their turn to have a go at it. It's their turn to see what they can do. So that's pretty simply it right there. It's time for me to move on, and time for South Carolina to start rebuilding a bit. Okay, any questions quickly? Yep. I also want to say thanks to South Carolina fans. They've received me and my family, my wife Jerry, who's the biggest reason for whatever success I've had as a coach. She's got a class today, and she's going to get her degree in psychology in December. So she didn't have time for this silly little press conference we got going on right now. All right, Dave, what you got?
Steve, when was the moment that you knew that you needed to go ahead and get up?
Pretty much Sunday morning. Actually, I went and talked to Coach Tanner Sunday afternoon. But actually, when we were 2-2, I called him up and I said, Coach, I'm going to try to get through this season, but I sense that this is about it for me. I just sense it's it. Central Florida, it was a struggle against those guys. As you know, we came in at halftime behind, and it was a struggle. And man, I said, I don't know if I need to continue having these kind of struggles. But we talked briefly then, and then we talked briefly this past Sunday. And when something is inevitable, I believe you do it right then. You don't wait a week. You don't wait 2 weeks. This has to happen. Let's do it. Let's do it, and let's get started in a new direction. So that's what we hope to do today.
Steve, when did you tell Dr. Pastides, Coach Tanner, that was it? Your decision was made at what time of day? And did you consider staying and doing Vandy and then leaving in the bye week?
Oh, we talked about that briefly, and I think I told Coach Tanner and the President Pastides that when something's inevitable, let's do it right now. And let's give the interim coach the opportunity right now. Got a home game against Vandy that I think if we play well, we got a good chance. And let's give the interim coach this opportunity right now today.
Coming into the season, you felt pretty good that you could get things headed back in the right direction. When did you not think that anymore, and what happened?
Just gradually, for whatever reason, our team wasn't quite as good as I thought we were going to be, and that's just the way it happened. Hopefully, with some new leadership, maybe we can become a much better team.
Steve, when you
Yeah.
Steve, when you told the players, I mean, what was their reaction? Were they surprised? Could they sense this was coming too?
I'm not sure. I talked to him right after practice last night, and just told him I told him there was a good chance I may be stepping down. I think that's the way I left it with them, and they assumed I was stepping down, or I wouldn't be telling them that. But yeah, they deserve to know first, so I'll let those guys know.
Steve, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment while you were here at USC?
That's a good question, Rick. I need more of those. Yeah, I can rattle off a lot of firsts that we achieved here. The president talked about a few of them. I really think the one that I really personally liked was the 18 straight home wins. 18 straight at home was a school record that it was pretty special, I think. And our fans had so much to do with that. So that was, I would say that's my favorite.
Coach, in your last contract, you agreed to be an advisor to President Pastides and Athletic Director Tanner. Is that something you plan on doing now that you've...
Oh, that's something we'll talk about a little later, probably. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. This is only October. Yeah, okay. Yes.
Steve Spurrier's news conference right now announcing, and we've been saying retiring. One of his quotes, he said he is not retiring, that he is resigning. He says that perhaps maybe something like a high school football job could be in his future. But Steve Spurrier announcing no matter which word you choose to use, he is stepping down immediately as the head coach of South Carolina, saying that, quote, I was the best coach for this job 11 years ago, but I am not today. Now, that news conference is continuing right now with the questions going on right now to the coach. We are live streaming that right now on WSPA.com and on our 7 on Your Side app. Our sports director, Pete Yanity, is in that room right now, and we're going to have complete coverage from there for you tonight on 7 on Your Side, and also we'll be updating this throughout the day on WSPA.com. Other news at noon now.